licensed general construction company that fully insured for the 5 boroughs and Westchester. A one-stop construction company that will cater to your needs. Experience is what counts in this business, and we have the experience for more than 35 years. So if you need a paint job, call us. If the roof is talking to you, call us. If your garage won't open, call us. If you need a new paint job, call us. If you try to do the work yourself and your wife won't talk to you, call us. 914-665-0106. Quick Link Construction. No job too big, no job too small. Just call us. 914-665-0106. 914-665-0106. We have the experience. Quick Link Construction.
And I know.
Are you struggling with weight loss? We have the solution. The Gut Buster package.
It's like I couldn't come up my step without like holding on and, breathing short. Mm-hmm. And then some of my clothes, I couldn't wear them for a good time.
So you was overweight, you had no energy?
Overweight.
Gut Busters.
I gave my son some. Mm-hmm. He was losing his belly too. Mm-mm. And I mean, this gentleman, if you ever see his belly, he has no more tummy. I have none.
So your tummy's gone too?
My God.
Go, mommy. Go, mommy.
The Gut Busters. To get the Gut Buster package, 917-533-2576. 917-533-2576. Log on to www.yoniemarket.com. That's YONNIEMARKET.com.
CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Dine-in or takeout available. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. We're open Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. Sundays, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. On Fridays and Saturdays, our seafood weekend starts from 11 o'clock. Check out our extensive breakfast and lunch menu. For breakfast, we have ackee and saltfish, corned beef and cabbage, callaloo and saltfish, corned beef and macaroni, liver or kidney, curry chicken back, brown stew chicken back, cook up saltfish, salt mackerel. Also check out our lunch specials: oxtail, cow foot, stew pork, tripe and beans, stew peas, jerk pork, jerk chicken, fried chicken, stew chicken, barbecue ribs, curry chicken, curry goat, pepper steak, escovitch fish, brown stew fish, and roast fish, jerk pork with bread, jerk chicken with bread. Plus, we have catering services available. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. We also have delivery services with Uber and DoorDash. Check us out on Instagram at CB_Jerk Center. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York.
Records presents the newly released tribute album from Keith Cole entitled Rock With Me.
Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby.
It's 13 tracks, including the astute cover of Delroy Wilson's Who Cares?
Who cares? Who is right or wrong? Right.
Keith Cole also sings homage to Jabi Bunny Wailer.
How does it feel to have been on the ballroom floor?
This newly released 13-track tribute album is readily available in record stores and on all digital platforms. It's the brand new album Rock With Me from Keith Cole. Pick up a copy today and help play tribute to these icons in reggae music.
Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby.
Yeah.
Honey, I just get a call from Mama again. She told me she haven't received the barrel as yet. Which shipping company do you use to send it off?
Last year, no. I want to do it now.
You say, honey, you drink too much? I bet if you your mother, you'd use the right company.
Simpson Shipping Enterprise. Weekly sailing to all destinations. In Jamaica, they go to Kingston and Montego Bay. Also ship to Europe and South America, East Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. We offer door-to-door service to Jamaica, Guyana, and England. Simpson Shipping Enterprise, 17 Mount Vernon Avenue, New York. Telephone 914-663-9216 or 224-663-9218.
Yeah, go on like a yeah, mama. You feel me, mama? I remember telling something. You used to send some shipping? Then go Jamaica, Kingston, and Montego Bay, all over the Caribbean island.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
Oh, they play the best music.
Number one. Best music for your listening pleasure.
I don't know what Juneteenth I represent for Linkage Radio. 104.5 FM. I def them.
When you are hungry, come to Kulu Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Near the Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Hi, I'm Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing? Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Male Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insidethezone@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592. Are you ready to take your life and finances to the next level? Join Dr. Shannon Simpson Shand at her Success Mindset Brunch and Learn event near New York City airports on Saturday, August 26, 2023 from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. The exact location to be announced. For only $50, learn how to make your first $1 million, recession-proof your personal finances, and enjoy food and entertainment, all while networking with other like-minded professionals. Plus, get Dr. Shannon's $997 Success Mindset Masterclass free. This is an event you cannot afford to miss. Get your tickets at eventbrite.com. Brunch and learn the success mindset now and start living a life of financial freedom. Don't miss it. It's only $50. This is Lady T Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com.
Monday, 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 Monday. I'm singing Monday because I can, because I can, because I want to, because I should, because I have to, because I must. Yep, Monday. Well, this past weekend we celebrated Father's Day, and I hope, fathers, you were treated royally. I hope so. Perhaps some of you worked or you just didn't get a chance to celebrate on the day, which was only yesterday. But I'm hoping that you were wished a happy Father's Day. You got a little kiss on the cheek. You know, you were treated with something. I hope so. And as you know, it's on the calendar for the third Sunday. But nevertheless, each day is a teachable moment for you in your role of fatherhood. So I'm just gonna personally say God bless you, because I know it's not easy, and I know no matter how many help books they have out for you, every day is a teachable moment for you. I'd like to welcome you to the show. Today, being a federal holiday, is recognized as Juneteenth, short for June 19th, which marks the day when federal troops arrived in Galveston, Texas in 1865 to take control of the state and ensure that all enslaved people be freed. The troops' arrival came, and a full 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, well, Juneteenth honors the end to slavery in the United States and is considered the longest-running African-American holiday. On June 17, 2021, it officially became a federal holiday. So I'd like to say thank you for tuning in. On the streets of your community, wherever you are, in your homes, your cars, your delis, your barbershops, your restaurants, a beauty salon, a hospital, or you're simply walking around somewhere. In your city, in your country, and across the globe. I am Lady D. Denise Gomez, your producer and presenter of the show called Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. I'm broadcasting on Linkage Radio 101.7, 104.5 FM, Linkage Radio. We're also on the TuneIn, on the Fast Cast for you. I'm also broadcasting on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, www.caribbeanvibesradio.com. I'm on Fit 96.7 FM in Duncan's Trelawney. Good evening to my Fit family. How are you doing? I hope you worked hard today, you know. And you must be saying, Lord Jamaica, son, hearty man. Never mind, work hard. You know that song, right? Work hard. You keep working and being a blessing to someone. And I know that Father's Day in Jamaica was a biggie. I know all the restaurants were packed and people were just out enjoying being with their dads and their husbands, you know? So good evening, everyone. I'm streaming this evening on my YouTube channel, Inside the Zone with Lady D. Welcome to those of you who are coming in. Good evening, Vero. Sharns. Nice seeing you. And there are other persons there. I can see the numbers, but I can't see you. I hope you're subscribing. We have passed the 700 mark, and we're moving up to 800. Good evening, Sharns. Thank you for waving back. So it's my Juneteenth Monday show today. And it's about time I say that Inside the Zone is a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views and issues that affect their communities. Family, health, finance, education, immigration, housing, wealth management, real estate, life and health insurance, and food insecurity on a Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on Linkage Radio. Once again, I'd like to welcome you officially to the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. What would I do without you? So being Juneteenth and all, I have the Monday beat chasing the Monday blues out of here with great music. And what's inside the zone, Juneteenth, Faith and Freedom. It's a documentary. At 6 o'clock, I have a special feature with June O'Connor, director of the Garvey School, and she's on a mission. The aim is to continue to fight for quality education for our children, proper health care for all. They believe we must capture the resilience that our forebears had that made the commemoration of this day possible. And Trudy will be joining me with our immigration updates. In Voices this evening, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking, Michelle Teller-Neal, Global Jamaica Diaspora Council Northeast representative. So, Michelle and I will be talking about the Jamaica diaspora. And we hear the term, and some of us seem to be still a little confused, but do not be. Michelle and I are just going to delve into all of that. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. Welcome to the show, The Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. If you're joining me on my social media platform, that's the YouTube channel this evening, please subscribe, there's no cost. Like, there's no cost. And share, there's no cost. All you need to do is just tap, 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 and tap. Please let the numbers go up. At the end of the show, I would like to see at least 5 people, right? But it's a good thing. About 714 or something like that, which is good. It's good. Whatever I get, I am appreciative of. So welcome everyone. It's about time we get some music on because it is our Juneteenth Music Day. And I want to say good evening to you. Those of you who are tuning in, you see me sporting my blue and yellow and white dots all over the place. Yes, I'm dressed up for you this evening. And on the radio, you can hear my voice, you know, that I'm excited and I'm in my colors today. So it's a good thing. I'm here with you to keep you company. Right now, I'm taking you to the Monday beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here with great music. How about some, you know, I tried to select my music today, all because of this whole Juneteenth federal holiday. I tried to be as what should I say, pragmatic as possible. I want to send the message. Good evening to you. Let's go.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, glory. Oh, glory, glory. Hands
to the heavens. No man, no weapon formed against, yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Justice for all just ain't specific enough. One son died, his spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. When it go down, we woman and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots, we on the ground, the camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, glory. Glory. Oh, glory. Glory. Now the war is not over. Victory isn't won, but we'll fight on to the finish. And then when it's all done, we'll cry glory. Oh, glory.
Selma is now for every man, woman, and child. Even Jesus got his crown in front of a crowd. They march with the torch, we gon' run with it now. Never look back, we done gone hundreds of miles. From dark roads, heroes, to become a hero. Facing the League of Justice, his power was the people. Enemy is lethal, a king became regal. Saw the face of Jim Crow under a bald ego. No one can win a war individually. It take the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy. Welcome to the story we call victory. The coming of the Lord, my eyes have seen the glory.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, glory.
Got to understand what happens from here is in our hands. From mighty kingdoms of a distant land, turn the world upside down, yes we can. We just gotta rise up, rise up, keep rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, keep rise up, rise up. No, no, yeah, no, 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 yeah, no, 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 yeah, no, 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 yeah, no. Been marching so long, how far is it to get to where we're going? Don't you know together we are strong? We're gonna fight the madness till it's gone. We just gotta rise up, rise up, keep rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, keep rise up, rise up. No, no, yeah, no, 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 yeah, no, 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 yeah,
on back, peaceful.
Whoa, easy now.
I'm gonna be free or die.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones.
You have made it 100 miles to freedom. Would you like to pick a new name to mark your freedom?
Keratin.
Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, we're gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm wading through muddy waters. You know I got a made up mind, and I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on.
Harriet, welcome to the Underground Railroad.
And I know what's around the bend might be hard to face 'cause I'm alone, and I just might fail, but Lord knows I'll try. Shine stars lit up the sky. Stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Do you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. I hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones.
Wow. I tell you, man. Lord, I love it. I love it. I love it. Good evening. Welcome to the Monday Drive, keeping you In the know, in the city you walk, drive, and reside. You just heard, oh man, gosh, did you not love those selections? It's my Juneteenth Monday here on the show, The Monday Drive, brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. I played selections from Common, John Legend, Glory. Then I took you to Jesse Wilson, Rise, Keep Rising, The Woman King featuring so-and-so. And then I gave you Stand Up, performed by Cynthia Erivo. I tell you, that girl is so talented. Welcome, everybody. What time is it? 5:35 p.m. In a few minutes, Trudy should be calling me, and we'll be talking about immigration and application for, when you're going to get your citizenship. We had delved into that a little bit, but now she's going to walk you through the questions and all of that. So I'd like to welcome everyone to the show this afternoon. It is the Monday Drive right here on Linkage Radio, your budding and buzzing station, 24/7, 365 days for the year. Don't forget, the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. And I'm hoping that there are persons who will be, calling in to talk to me this afternoon, like I know. I'm sure this is Trudy.
Yes, it is Lady Trudy Ann. How are you, Lady Denise? How are you?
Good evening, Lady Trudy Ann. I tell you, I just dropped some selections here a while ago, in the Monday Beat here on Linkage Radio, because it's my Juneteenth feature, and so I had to think about the theme of the show and the selections that I need to play. And so I gave them some Glory with John Legend, and I gave them Jesse Wilson, Keep Rising, and I wrapped it up with Cynthia Erivo with Stand Up. So I sat here and I was just moving to the rhythm of the music. Can't beat music,
Can't beat it at all. Music heals the soul.
I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Community and Immigration Updates with the Lady Trudy Ann. What are we talking about today, Trudy?
We are talking about passports.
Mm-hmm.
It is a never-ending bane of our community, getting passports done.
Mm-hmm.
People traveling and people getting married and people filing for their immigration status benefits. And so they need passports as an integral part of our day-to-day life. And I always tell people, even if you are an American citizen, never throw a stick back at you or a stone back at you. Which one? Remember which one? Stone or stick?
Stone, they say, yeah.
Not throw a stone back at you, and always keep your Jamaican passport up to date.
Right.
And I'll tell you why. One of the biggest reasons why you should always keep your Jamaican passport up to date is because when you go to Jamaica, and you already look like foreigner, but nobody charge you like you're a foreigner. You're a Jamaican.
Right.
So you produce your Jamaican passport, not your American passport. Not to mention, you do not want to put a target on your back by constantly producing your American passport.
Okay.
So always have your Jamaican passport up to date.
Yes, ma'am.
But as we're talking about passport renewals, replacements, and citizenship by descent, there's a huge situation going on now with PICA, which is a Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency in Jamaica. And for those of you who do not know what PICA is the USCIS equivalent. Every country has an immigration governmental institution, and PICA is Jamaica's immigration institution. Excuse me. So when you give us the agents a passport here in New York, or you go to the consulate, your passport is sent to PICA. So the consulate is manually, it is mailed down to Jamaica, to PICA. When you come to me with the passports to do, to renewal, if it's the new passport, we do it online and we send it off to PICA. Now, whether you go to the consulate or you come through me, it goes to the same place. So if there's a backlog at PICA, that will determine the length of time it takes for your passport to be processed. Now, when an agent tells you, oh, your passport takes 1 month, yes, technically it takes 1 month. However, if there's a situation going on with PICA in Jamaica and there's a backlog, it's going to take more than 1 month.
Right. Okay.
So people, please be patient. It's not our fault. I have always gotten back passports within a month. When I tell clients it's a month. However, there is something going on with PICA in Jamaica. There's a huge backlog of passports, and it's not just New York. It's all the consulates in the United States, London, and Canada. So all three countries. There's a huge backlog, because if you think of all the Jamaicans that are in these three countries, and then all these passports going down to PICA, plus the Jamaicans in Jamaica are dealing with their passport. So there is some internal situations that's going on, and they're scrambling to fix it. So people, please be patient. If your passport is going to take longer than usual.
Right.
If your passport has been lost, now there's a stringent procedure put in place by PICA. You have to go to do the application. Come to me, the agent, or whoever you go to, they do the application. Then we get an appointment. We bring it to the consulate. We get a letter from the consulate to go to the police station. Once we go to the police station, we file a police report. Then we take that police report and we mail it off to one police plaza. We wait a couple of weeks for them to come back and say, there is nothing in the system against this person. They're free to apply for a passport. Then we go back to the consulate now to submit the application.
And
so
I'm glad. Finish your thought, and then I'd like to say something.
Sorry. I said all of that process can take up to 2 to 3 months on top of the processing time when the passport does get sent to Jamaica.
And do you
go ahead.
think your clients and people who are listening understand that when you explain it to them? Because sometimes their expectations are so high. They only know that they gave you all they needed to give you, and why isn't the passport here yet?
You know what? They may not understand it, but they will need to learn to understand it. And that's the honest truth. They will need to learn to understand it. And this is an issue we also do have with clients. And on some levels, we do understand the frustration. I never gave it to PICA. I gave it to you. Right? People think, oh, you're thief with money, da, da, da. No, not at all. We need you to understand the process. And this comes with education and understanding of how the process is. I am not PICA. Right? So I cannot, if that was the case, I would have processed your passport and get back to you in 1 day.
Absolutely.
But it's illegal. I can't do that. And nobody ever tells them it's true they can't process your passport. No. When you come to me, and I'll tell my clients, when you give me your passport, I submit it to PICA, or I submit it to the consulate, which now submit it to PICA.
Right.
Right? What we have had to do on some occasions is give individuals their application so that they know, here, this is where your money was paid, this is the copy of your application, this is the application number. For the most part, people are respectful and understanding because they know how bureaucracy in Jamaica works. Right? We have sent out, right now I've sent out 4 passport applications since April. We still haven't gotten them back yet.
Okay.
Because there is a backlog going on in PICA. There's also a backlog at the tax administration for TRNs and birds and RGD. I don't know for RGD. I've not had any issues, and I've not heard any issues with RGD so far. But the tax administration and PICA, there's a huge backlog right now.
Yes. Well.
So we want people to understand that and realize when you give it to us, yes, we say your passport can take 1 month, and it should take 1 month. But if there's a backlog at PICA, all we can do is just relate that to you and say, look, our apologies, but here's what's going on with PICA.
Yes.
It's taking a bit longer than we expected. And if people want to cuss, they can cuss, but that's not going to make PICA move any faster than cuss us. So
I'm sorry.
The cussing is mute. I mean, I really going to accept that either. But, you know.
Me not mean to laugh.
but I
understand.
Laugh, but they have to take bad things make laugh. So, you understand?
I know. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we're wrapping up, we have a minute to go. Trudy, what's your final pitch? Because you have walked them through timeline, the backlog issue and, what they need to do. But what would be your final pitch to them before we end this?
The final pitch
segment?
is, people, please keep your passports in a safe place so you don't get lost. Make copies of your passport, because this is a problem. People lose their documents and don't have copies, and then it costs more money because we don't have your information. So one, make copies, put your copies in a separate place from which part you have, and do not carry your passport and green card with you in a separate bag than the one that's on your shoulders. Right?
Right.
Second, if your passport has expired and you need to go to immigration, so you have an appointment, they will accept your expired passport as an ID to get into the building. It's fine.
Right. Okay.
So U.S. says, don't worry about that. If you're getting married, your passport expired, you can't use it. But this is what I will say to people. In the meantime, please go get an ID NYC. Go get a New York driver's ID, not a driver's license. Get a driver's ID so that you're not depending on your passport alone. And if you're living in New York City, you can get an ID NYC and you can get a driver's ID. So please go get that. Even if you have a green card, go get a driver's ID, because if your green card lost, you have to pay much money to get it back. But your driver's ID, I think you just pay maybe $25 or so to renew it or to get it back if it's been lost.
Great information, Lady Trudy Ann, with community and immigration updates right here on Inside the Zone on Mondays for the Monday Drive. Trudy, I'm telling you, the Fit FM 96.7 in Jamaica that carries the show delayed. Their audience is very receptive to the information you're providing. I was told that because
I'm happy.
Yes, they are saying that, the way, we being in foreign, they're just so fascinated that we still talk patois. So they're just enjoying how you just break it down. And, that you switch from your English to patois, but they get the information. So I'm very thankful to you that you have chosen to do this segment with me on a Monday. So as me and you say, walk good, and what you say now?
Mind Maka joke, but before I go, people, if you want to reach me, 929-312-1161. That's 929-312-1161. And if your listeners in Jamaica, if they want, I can come back with a very proper British English if that's what they're interested in.
No, they were
hearing.
not asking for that. They take you just as you are. Thank
All
you.
right, Lady D. Well, good, my Maka joke. Take care.
I'm going to do my best. All right. Take it easy.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's Lady Trudy Ann with community and immigration updates right here on Inside the Zone. With Lady D, it's the Monday Drive today, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. It's my Juneteenth show, and so I have a feature for you right now and then at 6 o'clock. So in place of keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts, I will be having a conversation with the director of the Garvey School, June O'Connor. And their aim is to continue to fight for quality education for our children, proper health care for all. They believe we must capture the resilience that our forebears had that made the commemoration. What are you doing? Sorry. The commemoration of this day possible. So please stay with me. And then at 6:30 p.m. in Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking, Michelle Teller-Neal, Global Jamaica Diaspora Council Northeast representative. Quite the show this evening, man. I'm still basking in the selections I played in the Monday beat, and so I'm going to take you to my feature right now. Or you know what? Let me just make a quick switch. I'm going to play a selection, and then I get into the feature. The late Peter Tosh with Equal Rights on a Monday. It's Juneteenth.
Everyone is crying out for peace. justice. Everyone is crying out for peace.
Greetings to you, Bet. King Ryan, I see you.
Crying out for justice.
Herman, my dear Herman, your daughter was fabulous and her husband last Thursday.
No peace. I need equal rights and justice. I need equal rights and justice. I need equal rights and justice. Got to get it. Equal rights and justice. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Followers of Jesus, everybody wants to go up to heaven, but none of them want to die. I don't want no peace. I might need equal rights and justice. I got to get it. Equal rights and justice. I really need it. Equal rights and justice. Just give them my share. Equal rights and justice. What is due to Caesar? You better give it on to Caesar. Hey, hey, hey. And what belongs to I and I? You better give it up to I. 'Cause I don't want no peace. I need equal rights and justice. I need equal rights and justice. I got to get it. Equal rights and justice. I'm fighting for it. Equal rights and justice. Everyone heading for the top, but tell me how far is it from the bottom? Nobody knows, but everybody fighting to reach the top. How far is it from the bottom? I don't want no peace. I want equal rights and justice. I need equal rights and justice. I've got to get equal rights and justice. I really need it. Equal rights and justice. Everyone is talking about crime. Tell me who are the criminals? I said everybody's talking about crime. Tell me who are the criminals? I really don't see them. I don't want no peace. I need equal rights and justice. We got to get equal rights and justice. And there be no crime. Equal rights and justice. There be no criminals. Equal rights and justice. Everyone is fighting for equal rights and justice. Palestinians fighting for equal rights and justice. Down in Angola, equal rights and justice. Down in Botswana, equal rights and justice. Down in Zimbabwe,
The voice of Peter Tosh, equal rights and justice. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
This is Lady T, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, fitfmja.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, fitfmja.com. Are you ready to take your life and finances to the next level? Join Dr. Shannon Simpson Shand at her Success Mindset Brunch and Learn event near New York City airports on Saturday, August 26, 2023, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. The exact location to be announced. For only $50, learn how to make your first $1 million, recession-proof your personal finances, and enjoy food and entertainment, all while networking with other like-minded professionals. Plus, get Dr. Shannon's $997 Success Mindset Masterclass free. This is an event you cannot afford to miss. Get your tickets at eventbrite.com. Brunch and learn the success mindset now and start living a life of financial freedom. Don't miss it. It's only $50.
Welcome back to the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. How have you been? How has the day been going for you so far? What did you do today? Were you off? Did you reflect? Did you, some of us still had to do little stuff behind the scenes to get things going. I'd like to say hi to my YouTubers who are keeping my company. And don't forget to share. Ryan, did you share it with anyone? Pat, have you been sharing the link with anyone? Sharon's. Betty, you're on. Are you sharing with anyone? I'd just like to say good evening to all those of you who are on 104.5, 101.7 FM, Linkage Radio, and CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. Chris Wilby, hope you're doing well. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez, and I should be having a segment coming up with June O'Connor, director of the Garvey School in the Bronx. In the meanwhile, here is a feature on faith and freedom. It's a documentary. Good evening, everybody.
My savior walked on water, my ancestors can fly. My skin, it doesn't crack, my art travels through time. Jesus slept in the grave, but he rose feeling fine, cuz
their eyes were watching. The diaspora speaks through my skin. The reverberating of salty tides, rusted chain boat rides, and arriving to the shores of Galveston ports. The commodity of human cargo stimulated economic growth, yet it dashed the hopes of black people to a bloody pulp. American apartheid begins. The rope becomes a noose on the neck, the oppression that crept up into a generation of people, threatening to permanently stifle their survival in a foreign land. Calloused, thorn and thistle pricked hands toiling in blood-stained cotton fields, a devastating displacement and separation of fathers and mothers from children and each other became so burdensome that the voices of the enslaved raised in unison towards the heavens for freedom. Sounds that seemed to not be heard as the chains grew heavier and the spirits grew weary. Then came 4 years of civil war. 700,000 U.S. citizens slaughtered, 4 million people emancipated, but the real question was, who would tell us that we had been set free?
The idea of freedom is the center of the American ethos. It's our highest aspiration, and yet its opposite, slavery, is central to our origin story, America's original sin. Some stories are so painful that we prefer to turn away, pretending they never happened. Slavery is one of those stories, but I can't turn away. I've come to Texas to learn the true story behind Juneteenth, America's newest national holiday, and the first in which we together celebrate the end of slavery. I'm here for myself, a descendant of slaves, for my country built with their hands, and for my Christian faith, which was used to justify slavery and yet became an inspiration for liberation. On the streets of Galveston, where the Juneteenth story begins, I am greeted by a historical marker. On June 19, 1865, 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, General Gordon Granger arrived by boat with General Order No. 3 in hand, which stated, "All slaves are free." This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and the rights of property between former masters and slaves. To understand this new freedom, I first need to understand what they were freed from.
If I thought that I'd ever be a slave again, I'd take a gun and just end it all right away. Because you're nothing but a dog. You're not a thing but a dog.
We have to make history tangible. History is something you can put your hands on. It's something that impacts us. And the reality is that the past is always present with us. We're still informed by it in some ways. We are still harmed by it. And so how can we work to correct something today if we don't understand how it came to be?
The voices of the past echo into the present here. Pastor Michael Waters, a native Texan who has immersed himself in this history, will translate them for me.
So we can begin with this. This is a manila bracelet. This bracelet was the form of currency from Western European countries when they went to West Africa in order to purchase our ancestors as slaves. 6 to 8 of these would allow you to buy a human being. It's very important that when we talk about slavery, that we humanize it, right? You can miss the humanity when you emphasize 10 million slaves, right? We want to talk about someone's son, someone's daughter, who made the arduous forced passage from their homeland to this country. And we also need to talk about the persons who were part of that business transaction. And so this was a part of that transaction. After you had been purchased, Of course, you were put in chains. These are authentic chains from Ghana. Just imagine, feel the weight of these, of having these placed upon you.
And these would be placed on wrist or feet?
These would be placed on feet. Okay, these are shackles, and you'd be on the ship for months before you actually set off for passage. Once you came, unfortunately, to these shores, you exchanged chains, one chain for another. These would be the chains of the auction. This one right here says Strong, Healthy African Negroes, lot number 32. W.W. Wilbur, who was a slave seller from 1806. And so you have marketing and you have branding in the selling of humanity.
So this is an advertisement?
This is an advertisement, absolutely.
We were slaves. We belonged to people. They sell us like they sell horses and cows and hogs and all like that. Have an auction bench, sell the women, sell the men. $200, $100.
Holding those chains was heavy, but Pastor Waters reminds me that to truly appreciate liberation, I have to grasp the reality of bondage. Sam Collins, a local historian, takes me somewhere I've always dreaded, the final destination for the enslaved.
We are at the Varnahog Plantation in West Columbia, Texas. In 1834, Columbus Patton turned it into a producing agricultural location with 40 to 60 enslaved people.
And this would have been where they lived?
This is where the enslaver lived, but the enslaved individuals would have lived in another area on the plantation.
For the slave owner, what was life like here?
Well, Patton was very successful with regards to running the plantation. They produced a lot of sugar, and the enslaved people were the ones producing the wealth. They were not receiving the benefit, but they were doing the work and producing the wealth of this county. And for the enslaver, their wealth was in ownership of the people and what the people produce. So it is grand, but it's not great.
Attempts to justify slavery extended beyond the plantation and the auction block. They touched everything, including the church. But how could the church, which I believe is a place to find spiritual freedom, become a place that defended bondage?
The first way to be okay with treating someone bad is to dehumanize them. And then you won't feel guilty for it. And so they had to dehumanize the group.
Hello?
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Lady D.
Hey there, Mrs. O'Connor. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, on this Juneteenth.
Yes, indeed. I have a Juneteenth program in progress here, and you have timed in quite well. How are you? How has the day been going on your end?
Very well, thank you. We have a number of people here celebrating with us.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of discussion about how Juneteenth came about.
Right. Okay. Because I was playing a feature just now on that. And so we'll talk for a few minutes. So tell us what's happening today at the Garvey School, first of all.
At the Garvey School, we're celebrating Juneteenth. We're actually having a roundtable talk right now about the resilience of the slaves who absolutely decided that it needs to be known to the world that they're free and that they were no longer subjected to servitude and human bondage. And to do that, it required a degree of resilience, consistent resilience, collaboration, planning, strategic planning, and finding their way out of that just horrible state of life that was legal. And Lady D, even though the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments were supposed to give access to all human beings in the Union, that did not happened because the Southern legislatures were able to manipulate and find ways to take away the rights, voting rights. You know, they did poll tax, they did literacy tests, and of course it was illegal for slaves to read, so not many were literate, and so they found ways. But here we are celebrating Juneteenth because they found ways. Some of them learned how to read, memorized the Constitution, and did amazing things. And, you know, I want to say to our audience, how can we capture the resilience of those people who've overcome so much to make this day a symbol of our freedom? Because this really is our 4th of July. This is our Freedom Day.
Which means to be literate is such an important part of our humanity.
Yes. 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 And so the Garvey School is working towards high level of literacy, right? Because now it's legal for everyone to learn to read. But what's the quality of education that's accessible to everyone? It's not equal in that regard. And so, you know, we're still facing some of the inequities, some of the very cruel inequities that limit opportunities for our children. And so I hope that today doesn't fall into one of those days where people think, oh, we have an extra day to sleep late or do something. You know, I want to say that generationally we are tired people because we work harder, we work longer, we've had to struggle more. And so I'm not against rest. I just want us to be much more intentional with symbols of freedom like a Juneteenth Day.
Now, you are also, in your blurb to me, you say that your aim is to continue to fight for quality education for our children, proper health care for all.
Yes, yes. And that's where our fight now rests, because as a group before, we were running away from the lashes of the slave master. We were running away from dogs. There's a gentleman by the name of Gordon whose picture is very widely used to make it known how inhumane slavery was. And we're no longer running away from those lashes, but we're running away from high prison rates among our youth. We're running away from inaccessible quality health care.
Yes.
We're running away from high quality education that's affordable and accessible. Those are our dogs and lashes right now. So I hope that your listening audience today will resolve that this Freedom Day for us will be different than all other days. That it really will be to initiate a platform to gain access to a quality of life, which means quality education and accessible health care, and in general, being prepared for opportunities that allow us to take advantage of access.
Yes. I know you are high on your modus operandi is geared toward education, and I have seen the children, a few of the children who have graduated from your institution, and how they have moved on to higher education and are doing well. Education for us means so much. You can't put a measure to it. The mere fact that we know the letter A to Z, and we are able to transcribe out of those letters or name or history or food, you know, tells that we know the importance of it. And for the slaves to have been prevented from that, because what they say, a little knowledge, what's the term? A little knowledge can be a dangerous thing. Right, can be a dangerous thing. So if they were so educated, they knew that the slave masters knew that they would have been so calculative to mastermind and overthrow, which they did anyway, some of them who still couldn't read or write to save their lives.
So
it tells you that the human mind is capable of just about anything.
Absolutely. 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 And it brings us right back to that whole concept of resilience. That means against all odds, you continue.
Yes.
That's what it means to be resilient. Against all odds. I cannot read, but I will memorize where I'm supposed to go and what I'm supposed to say. I can't read the signs, but I will find some way to navigate my way to the north.
Isn't that something? So I'd like to commend you as we're wrapping up in a few minutes, to commend you because the name of your school is the Garvey School. And there is a history to that.
Yes.
And the fact that you have, you have chosen to really have this discussion today about what took place in Galveston, Texas.
Yes.
Combining it with the name of your school.
Yes.
And the message that you send, right? And for people to know our history.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging this and for giving me the opportunity to share on your platform the value of this day, and also the school being named after Marcus Messiah Garvey, a symbol of resilience. One against all odds, could not be deterred in any way to accept being less than who he is.
Yes.
One of the things he said, Lady D, is that only God is above us, only God. So then it didn't make sense for him that one group of people would be subjected to another group.
That's right.
Because we're all under God.
And we have the same color blood flowing through our veins.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
When many people think of slavery, it's such a heart-wrenching thought.
Yes.
Because we don't know what that is. We didn't have that experience.
Right.
But the things that are chronicled in history makes us so distraught. At first, I didn't like history. I did not like it. I did not like to read the things, but I knew it was necessary.
Yes. Yes.
But I didn't like it. I didn't like history at first when I had to read all that I had to read.
Oh my goodness. I was fascinated by all those stories, and I wanted to know who wrote it. How did you know this? You weren't there. I was fascinated
the level
by
of research, which when we think of research, there are still some people who believe that parts of this whole history that we are reading about is padded with, made up stories and all that. Be that as it may, there are people who endured that and were able to give an account in their day.
Yes.
And so all that material came over,
Yes.
But Mrs.
There are
O'Connor,
some reliable records.
Yes, reliable records indeed. So Mrs. O'Connor, I just want to thank you for tuning in with me this afternoon to share what the Garvey School is doing today, the discussion that is in progress at your table, and how the change can be made.
I am grateful, deeply grateful to you for acknowledging our efforts to continue to educate our children and families and being very intentional about being culturally affirming.
Yes.
So I thank you.
You're most welcome, and all the best for the rest of the day. And
Thank
to
you.
your
Thank you
students
very
and
much.
faculty.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Lady D.
You're
And all the
welcome.
best for the rest of the day.
Same to you. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. June O'Connor, director of the Garvey School in the Bronx, and her school has been doing very well. They do have some challenges, which institution does not, but she is on a mission to ensure that the children who are in her institution are highly educated and prepared. I'm telling you, I've been to a few of their sessions, and it's really good when the children speak and how they expound and they understand their literature and their reading. It's just amazing. And I think, we talk about, or history a lot and we brag about it, but there are other nations of the world who that is a part of their system. It doesn't come out. The children from they are born, they know it, they have to live it, they have to practice it. It's no way, it's that way or highway for some nations, which we will refer to them as, communist countries and so on. But I'm telling you, there's no person who is born in those countries that don't know what the expectations are. And, we know our history, some of us, but we don't want it. We say that was then. I don't know. There's a take for everything. Good evening. Welcome to the Monday Drive. It's Juneteenth. That's the theme for the show today. And I just spoke with Mrs. O'Connor. And, of course, I was featuring a Juneteenth Faith and Freedom. It's a documentary. At 6:30 p.m., I will be having a discussion with Michelle Tull-O'Neill. And she is our new Northeast representative for the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council in the segment Voices at 6:30. I feel like I have done so much in the time that I've been here since I came in for 5 o'clock. It's like information just pouring out, both in music and, in the features that I'm presenting. I'd like to say good evening. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. Good evening to everyone tuning in with me. And, of course, I'll be now going back or resuming, as I'd like to say, the feature Juneteenth, Faith and Freedom.
And a good place to start was the good book itself.
Anti-literacy laws are created really to keep slaves from reading the Bible from cover to cover, because they're like, we got to stop them from reading the true liberation of Jesus Christ through Scripture, because if they see that, they're going to want to be free, because they realize that we're all equal at the foot of the cross. Think about things like the slave Bible. That supports the claim that Christianity is a white man's religion.
What's the slave Bible?
The slave Bible is a Bible created by white supremacists that took out all the liberation passages and passages that point to liberation and freedom and gave it to the slaves as a means to say, hey, this is what Scripture says, to further cause them to be oppressed.
So you're saying they took a Bible and then cut some stuff out?
Yes.
Like, was that just a few verses here or there?
No, it was a lot of the Scripture. The Exodus account was removed because you got to think about when Nat Turner read Scripture, it caused a revolt. Like, he was like, no, like, reading Scripture from cover to cover shows me a different version of God than the one you're trying to push down my throat. They didn't want them to know that they were also created in the image of God, because if they were also created in the image of God, then they couldn't treat them the way they treated them.
The lies and distortions of slavery stretch broad and far, like old twisted branches, infecting the mind, body, and soul of the enslaved and the enslaver. The dehumanization of the enslaved begs the question, what was life like? So Sam took me to the sugar mill at the Varner Hog Plantation.
What was it like to be on a sugar plantation? Like, what was the work like?
It was tiring, it was dangerous. You had to deal with snakes and mosquitoes, and they would have worked around the clock trying to get all of the sugarcane cut and processed.
And what did it look like to process it out, and what does those bowls have to do with that?
They heated it up to get all the impurities and things out from bowl to bowl. They kept going to smaller bowls as they heated and moved that
and it
down.
would just kind of get concentrated. So super hot. So they're heating those bowls up and
already
in the hot sun, and then on top of that, fire underneath to distill it.
Yeah.
Man, that's intense.
I'm sure people died of heat strokes. Sometimes people got crushed in these mills if they accidentally got a shirt or something caught and got pulled through. So there was a person that had a responsibility to stand if somebody got caught, their hand to cut it off to save their life. Because if that person was not there, they would just be pulled through and lost.
Oh, that's horrific.
Life expectancy was probably very short. And unfortunately, there was death in these spaces. And people don't know the cost to produce this wealth that these enslavers and plantation owners enjoy.
But they think that old woman just tied her hand this way, around the feet of the tree and whipped her. And well, she couldn't do nothing but just kick her feet, just kick her feet. But they just had her clothes off down to her waist, and every now and then they'd whip her, and then snuff the pipe out on her, snuff the pipe out on her.
This is actually a plantation police badge. And any white male in particular who wanted to be a part of the plantation police could be. So it was an endorsement, frankly, of all white people that you can apprehend, capture, and return any black person you see that you don't believe has a right to be present.
So what's the story that people are telling themselves to make this all okay? Because it feels so horrific and seems so obviously wrong.
Well, one of the things they're saying is that enslaved persons and their enslavers were like family, that they shared meals together, that they worshiped together, that it really wasn't as bad as it might appear. Here's the unfortunate reality. 23andMe recently did a study that showed even in the genetic makeup of Americans, you can see the legacy of sexual assault.
How so?
That so many enslavers raped their slaves, that is a part of the genetic makeup of America. That there's an overrepresentation of white European DNA in black people in this nation. That there were more black men brought to America than black women because it was perceived that the black men would be able to work hard in the fields. And yet when you see the DNA record, one of the highest contributions toward producing the next generation would be between white European men and black women. It's in our DNA. That's how deep these structures and systems have harmed us, that we see it in the DNA of not just our ancestors, but of people today.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. Over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried
you are hungry, come to Kula Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Near Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Are you ready to take your life and finances to the next level? Join Dr. Shannon Simpson Shand at her Success Mindset Brunch and Learn event near New York City airports on Saturday, August 26, 2023 from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. The exact location to be announced. For only $50, learn how to make your first $1 million, recession-proof your personal finances, and enjoy food and entertainment, all while networking with other like-minded professionals. Plus, get Dr. Shannon's $997 Success Mindset Masterclass free. This is an event you cannot afford to miss. Get your tickets at eventbrite.com. Brunch and learn the success mindset now and start living a life of financial freedom. Don't miss it. It's only $50.
Good evening. Welcome to Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Who do I have online with me? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening. Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you for allowing me to share a few tidbits with your listening audience. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Michelle O'Neill. She began her career in 2003 as a victim and witness coordinator in the Juvenile Court Unit of the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office. And she is my guest this evening in her new capacity as the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council Northeast representative. How are you doing, Michelle?
I am doing wonderful, just jumping from one meeting to the next, but doing great. Thanks
Great.
for asking.
Of course, man, we should have met a few weeks ago, but here we are today on such an important day in our nation for Juneteenth.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely, definitely. And we are here to work alongside and partner our brothers and sisters to make sure that we are recognized for what we have done and the struggles that we are about. So yes, it is indeed a impactful day. It took a long time for it to be recognized as a federal holiday, even though some organizations still don't get the day off. So we're making headways, and we keep on pushing against the grain to make sure this is widely accepted.
Thank you for your comments, of course. Now, I tell you something. The buzz is that Michelle O'Neill, the Global Diaspora Council Northeast representative, happens to be my esteemed guest on Voices this evening, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. Would you say yes to that? That there's a buzz?
Yes, I would. Yes.
No. So I want to ask you now, how does it feel to have been elected in this position? And what is your mandate? Tell us about the diaspora, because not many people know what it is and how it functions.
Okay. Well, first, I have to say to God be the glory, and I am totally honored and humbled to be elected. You know, when I reflect on, I think of the fact that I've been given this opportunity at such a time as now to be the representative for the Northeast USA, I am indeed elated. You know, when you look at it, the diaspora basically means anybody not in Jamaica. So whether you reside in the U.S., Canada, the U.K., you are part of the diaspora. And the diaspora is not an organization, it's a movement.
Right.
And what we are hoping to do is and what I plan to do during my tenure is to even bring us closer as a people, because there are a lot of us here. Actually, the numbers now are that there are more of us in the U.S., in the diaspora, so to speak, than there are in Jamaica. But we don't know that they are out there. So we need to be intentional about finding out where you are, what you are doing, and how we can definitely come together. I think about that. I've been given the opportunity to meet, to listen, to talk, and to collaborate with individuals from a minimum of 14 states that's under my jurisdiction, so to speak, and just to hear what is it that troubles them, what are their concerns, what initiatives, what plans they would like to see implemented in the U.S. and Jamaica, and what the solution that would make living in the U.S. A home away from home, what causes they are passionate. And then I am big on partnerships, so I'm looking to work alongside the UJAs, the Jalawelo, the Jaja Foundation, and just to name a few, because we have, it's I must say, since it has been about almost 90 days, and people are just calling me willing and wanting to assist in whatever way possible. And that does shows that the drive and the will to serve and to give of each person's time, talent, and treasure has not lost on our travels. So it's just that part that keeps me going and makes me so excited. My mandate for the diaspora will lie closely with what is stated in the National Diaspora Policy, which is basically to strengthen the diaspora engagement mechanism so that it enhances the well-being of Jamaicans home and abroad. So whenever I think of any project, I always think, how can we help those in the diaspora, and how can we help those in Jamaica as well? For me, I said it's being intentional about connecting with all the diaspora in the 14 states. So I will be the one that will be traveling. If you look at my schedule, I try to make sure at least every month I am in a state. And right now, I think my calendar is already filled up until March, where I visit and meet other diaspora, tell them who I am, learn about the resources that they have, so that we don't have to duplicate.
Right.
I also want to be connected with what's going on in Jamaica, so we can start having a conversation. So you'll hear about a lot of town hall and forums from me that we are trying to use through education. I am an educator, so I believe that when you are educated on the issues, you are able to make a better decision. So as it stands now, I believe we have at least 6 forums that we're planning based on the issues, and what I've heard people ask is.
Okay. Well, you know something, I'm glad that you have your calendar already set, and I'm sure if there are adjustments and changes that will have to be made or may be made to accommodate other organizations that would like to have you visit them and have their the people in their residents, the people in their communities, share their concerns about what's going on in their area. Because like my organization, Good Neighbors Community Outreach Agency and New Testament Temple Church of God, we were always in the know and kept in the loop about what's going on, and have had discussions in the past which we would like to continue. So I am expecting that we will have you as well in our vicinity, having come to meet our people and to hear what we're doing and how we can continue to partner with the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council.
Absolutely. And when I said I have a calendar, like what I've done, like for like August, I definitely make at least one trip to West Virginia. That does not mean if Connecticut or Maine or Vermont doesn't call me, I cannot be there. But I take at least one weekend for each state to make sure I am at least there. there's 4 weeks per month, so there's 3 other weekends that if you call me and said, Michelle, this is happening, can you come out there? And I'll be there. Yeah, but I wanted to make sure that I at least visit one state per month.
Per
at
month.
least.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
at
right. So
least,
you're
yeah.
open to that. Thank you so much. If you're just joining us, welcome to the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. And the intellectual voice you're listening to this evening is Michelle Tull-O'Neill. She's a Global Jamaica Diaspora Council Northeast representative, and she just shared with us her mandate, how it has been for the first 90 days, and that she has so much on her calendar, and she's open to meeting you, and you, wherever you are. So we continue with our discussion now, Michelle. So yes, you have this role that you have undertaken. Many people wonder, so people just volunteer like that, they give their time like that, and your response would be?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is
You
why.
definitely give.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, I was about to say, which is why I liked the fact in your introduction you said that, it is a movement, not an organization. So everybody is giving their time. And if you have committed to give your time like this, it simply means you have a heart for people.
I do. And that actually started with family. And, I must say, to be honest with you, I think it started when I was preparing for my confirmation. I grew up in the Catholic state at the time. I'm no longer part of the Catholic state. But part of the preparation process for confirmation was to do some form of work of mercy.
Okay.
And for me, it was a visit to home where children were challenged. And I just remember enjoying my time being there and thinking I needed to do something, but not knowing at that young age what that something was. I fast forward and I look back. I never stopped looking at different ways to make a difference in others' lives. And when I began working at the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office as a victim witness advocate, that's when it really came into being, where I fight for the rights of those people living in Philadelphia and Harrisburg. And so that servant spirit that I have is what keeps me going and wanting to make sure I can, in whatever way I can, make a difference in each person that come across my path in this life.
Right. Now, you began your career in 2003 as a victim and witness coordinator in the juvenile court unit of the Philadelphia Attorney's District. Share some insight about that.
Wow. Well, the amazing thing is that time flies. I cannot believe on August 8th, which is not too far, it will be 20 years that I've been with I've been at Philadelphia District Attorney's Office. And it has been great years. I'm given the opportunity to be part of many programs within the city of Philadelphia and the state of Pennsylvania, just doing my part to bring about changes that would impact both the lives of victims and defendants. For example, there's a program that's called Youth Aid Panel, which I'm very passionate about, and I would like to have a similar program in Jamaica, and I'm definitely working on that. And it's a diversionary program that works with the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office, the police, and the community. So it's a collaborative effort. And the individual that sits on the panel is from the neighborhood. And the reason why we chose the individuals from the neighborhood, because they more than likely will know the boys and girls in the neighborhood. And so they are able to speak. They will know the families. And so that relationship has served the city of Philadelphia tremendously.
Wow.
And right now we have it throughout the city of Philadelphia. So I would like to bring a similar program because, as you know, we all make mistakes, right? And we need to be all given a second chance
Yes.
Being at the DA's office has afforded me a lot of opportunities, both to work from the prosecution side and also from the defense side.
Mhm.
So I'm able to go out in the community and make impact. I, in the early 2000s, I was asked by the governor of Pennsylvania to sit on this community because we were realizing that there was a disparity in black and brown and white children in their sentencing. And so I was given the opportunity to sit on that board as well, in order to make changes. And we are still making changes to this day.
Yes.
But those are the good things that being at the DA's office has afforded me, and I continue to look forward to different ways in which I can make a difference in each and every person's life that I come across.
And I commend you for that and the career path that you have chosen. And now it has come full circle, I believe, in your capacity now as our Northeast representative, because as you travel extensively, you are now able to use your what do I say, your background,
experiences,
right, and to rationalize different challenges that people are experiencing in the diaspora.
Absolutely, absolutely. And my experience not only gave me opportunity with just people in Philadelphia here, but I end up also helping individuals in the Army because there were a sexual assault situation and they needed individuals to come and look at it from a different perspective. And that is out of the Department of Defense. So all these experiences you are talking about, I feel has prepared me for this role.
Yes.
You know, you go through life and you're like, why am I sit on this committee? Why am I doing that? And then you are here and you see, I'll give you one simple example. I was telling a girlfriend of mine on Saturday, and I hate driving. I really do. And then it so happened that COVID happened and I had to drive. And I was driving from X, Y, and Z, and I can drive for 4 hours, 6 hours. Before that, 2 hours or hour and a half is the maximum.
Right.
And I'm like, I really love driving. And now when I look at it, God has a sense of humor because he knew that I would need to be driving to all these different states. So he says, I'm going to build your stamina from now. So I drove to Boston, which was 6 hours. So
you have
and
come,
that's how your life is good.
so you have come full circle. That's what you're saying. Yes, you have come full circle. So you're right now, are you based in Philadelphia?
Yes, I am.
Yes. And if I could ask you, what makes Philadelphia cut above the rest? Why not New York?
Okay.
know?
Philadelphia is a birthplace of the United States. It is where the founding fathers met, discussed, debate, and form a new country, right?
Right.
Philadelphia is also the largest city in Pennsylvania. We are unique. It's a city of neighborhoods. Actually, it's 150 to be exact, and 100 suburbs. So there's a lot of ground to cover when you finally come and visit us. It is called the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, so all are welcome. We are known for the Liberty Bell and the Philly cheesesteak. It offers also the amenities of a big city, like we have great restaurants here at reasonable price. So if you come to Philly, you have to check out the various, a massive amount of restaurants. We are known for our food, shops, arts and culture, and great public transportation. And because it has all of this, we have what we call a Caribbean festival that is run by Barbara Wilson from Jamaica. And I think it has been around for like 37 years. So we are able to infuse our Jamaican culture into what Philadelphia is all about, which is what makes it such a great city. Don't get me wrong, we have our problems.
Yes.
But all in all, it's a great city.
Well, you sold it. So for those who are listening and they've never been over to Philly, now that you've heard Michelle Tull-O'Neill, or Global Jamaica Diaspora Council Northeast Representative's sales pitch on this matter here, you need to go visit them. Thank you. So let's pull back a little bit now, Michelle, and ask, what were your days like as a picnic?
So let's think about that. My days as a picnic. So my parents, like every other parent, my parents also worked. I grew up in Kingston with 3 brothers and 1 sister. I'm from a very close-knit family, and by that I mean my mother is an only child. My dad has a sister that never had any children. And so that causes us to be close as a family. And we still are now, because my brother literally lives 15 minutes away from me, and he's always at my house. But don't tell him I said that. I still love him.
No problem. I got
Well,
you. Yes.
Yeah, he's always here, but it's good. But it's good for my mom because she enjoys the visit. But like most family, I said my parents were, but there's always that village that will look out for us. So I had neighbors to my left and to my right that is always looking out for us. And that made a difference. Like everybody else, my greatest fun was my neighbor's swing, believe it or not. And then, yes, I love swing. And then we had ackee tree, pear tree, which we call avocado here. And it was just a joy when you wake up in the morning and you go outside, and we'll just pick up all the fruits and so forth from that. My house, my brother is a dancer, and he's also a chef. And as such, people are always at my house. And to be honest with you, it has translated to this day. I love to entertain. I love to entertain. So so my house is still the meeting place that people come and just eat and talk. And I've also done so with my Temple University, where I went to school. A couple of years ago, they asked me that these international students are here in the U.S. and they don't want to send them home for Thanksgiving. And they asked me if I could house them at my house for Thanksgiving. I was like, yeah, you know me. Yeah, sure, come on over. And no, it has been a yearly thing. And the kids are from Afghanistan, China, Finland, Taiwan. And it's just a great thing. So I think my childhood as a picnic is about just sitting, talking, and having fun with each and everybody, and eating some mangoes, be that we put salt and black pepper on the green ones and shake it up.
Right. Lord, that sent a whip to the jawbone a while ago, you know. My jaw corner just came alive.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Lord have mercy, yes.
And you know what I loved as a child? Milo and milk.
Oh, yes.
I just mix it together. But you know what I tried as an adult is the most nastiest thing.
No, you don't like it now. Oh, yes, you don't like it now. Well, I thank you for sharing so much, because, you know, you have brought us full circle as an intellectual. You have your legal background. You are a child of God. You are the diaspora Northeast representative. You don't like milk and Milo, no. But to top it off, I would like to ask the final question. What will your legacy be?
My legacy will be how my life was lived in service to others, be it in Jamaica, the U.S., or the continent of Africa, where I do my missionary work annually. And it's because our paths have crossed that all life is better. It will show the importance of a strong family upbringing, hard work, and education, which is actually the catalyst for getting ahead and being successful at your chosen part. And most importantly is that I love God, and He's the reason behind all that I do. I am blessed by God, and as such, the underlying mission ahead of me is to be a blessing to all people.
Wonderful. Now, I have a fun segment here. It's all spontaneous, so you didn't get all of these questions from me, but I'd like to ask you to provide me with a one answer response only. Okay? So don't give me two and three. One, just one I need. So I'll say GDCN representative.
Collaborating.
Wonderful. Philadelphia.
Home.
Justice.
One word. Justice, one word. A word, who I am? No, one word. Okay, let me see. One word for justice. Michelle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next one, immigration.
Possibilities.
Diaspora.
Connecting.
Jamaica.
Heart.
Volunteerism.
Life.
Family.
Everything.
Objectives.
No. What is that?
Objectives.
One word. Love.
And finally, Michelle Tuller Neal.
Joy.
Oh, shucks.
Peace. Happiness.
All right. I hear that. But I think we covered in such a short time so much, and to understand who you are, what your mission is, and to get to know you. You know the song which says, getting to know you. So we're getting to know you now, Michelle, and you will not be a stranger to this platform. Whatever you're doing, call me up and we can talk about it so we can disseminate information to our audience.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking this time out just to allow me to introduce myself to your listening audience. It has been indeed an honor and a pleasure to be on your program. Thanks to you and to your audience.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Michelle Tuller Neal. As we say, walk good.
Amen.
Amen.
See you well.
All righty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Good evening to you. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Is it Mrs. Michelle?
Her name is Michelle Tuller Neal.
Let me say, Mrs. Michelle, and I thank her so much for such a nice interview, and she did it.
Yes, she did.
Lady D, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you too.
I reached home late, but I got this full interview. I didn't get the full one when they were reading the. Is it history?
Well, we did a bit of history facts, and I had June O'Connor.
Yes, but I didn't get all of it. But thank her so much. She did well.
Okay.
And thank you, Mrs. Michelle.
I will pass that on to her. Thank you,
Gloria.
Lady. All righty, no problem.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, we're going to wrap up the show now. 1 minute to go before we close the show. But I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in with me this evening. And just to let you know that, what is this? Just to let you know that I'll be back, God willing, on Thursday to do it all over again with Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And I'll be connecting with so many of you. And I'm wrapping up. Good evening.
Good evening. It's important. Can you return my call of the program?
Okay, I'll do my best.
Okay.
All righty. So I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in with me this evening. And to my sponsor, Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, you're always with me. And to those who are advertising with me, I'd like to say thank you. Also, there is a 2019 trial followed 69 women who had fibroids as well as a vitamin D deficiency. After the women started taking vitamin D supplements, researchers noted that the size of their fibroids was significantly reduced. As a result, the study authors concluded that you could treat fibroids with vitamin D supplements. Additional benefits of vitamin D: research suggests that vitamin D can help boost your immune system and may even prevent certain diseases. Vitamin D also helps manage depression and may help with weight loss. This could be another reason why vitamin D affects your fibroids. Maintaining a healthy weight can also limit fibroid growth. Thanks for sharing this information, Jerome. This perhaps could be a discussion I have with a doctor who can discuss that in our Health Zone feature for next month. So stay tuned, we can discuss that. But thanks to everyone for tuning in this evening. I'm looking forward to being back, and for you just being with me makes all the difference, because I could be here by myself. So thank you. Gotta go. Blessings to you.
When you are hungry, come to Kulu Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nereida Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Kulu Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
This is Lady T, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. Best music.